Thank you for listening to We Have Ways of Making You Talk. Sign up to our Patreon to receive bonus content, live streams, and our weekly newsletter with money off books and museum visits as well, plus early access to all live show tickets. That's patreon.com/wehaveways.
This is Wendy from Science Versus. This month, our friends at Ford are the presenting sponsor of Science Versus. If you're curious to learn more about things like electric vehicles, Science Versus is a great listen. We dive into topics like how beavers are helping the fight against climate change, what the greenest way to die is, and what a 100% renewable future looks like, and more. Listen to Science Versus on Spotify. Brought to you by Ford.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Time to work on your gift list with Black Friday deals at the Home Depot. Right now, get a select tool from top brands like Ryobi and Milwaukee for free when you buy a select battery kit. Choose from reciprocating saws, multi-tools, sanders, and more. Whether you're stocking up on power for your personal workshop or grabbing the perfect gift for someone else's. Get Black Friday tool deals delivered from the Home Depot. Limit 1 per transaction. Exclusions apply. Full eligible tool list in-store and online.
Achtung. This is us. Do you know what we're going to do, Jim? Here we're going to pat each other on the back for a job well done before and in the anticipated excitement of what's to come, right?
Well, what I like about the whole concept of We Have Ways 5 is it just falls in so beautifully to the lingo, because, you've got V for victory, putting the fun back into FUMF. Every which way you look at it, it just works.
Of course, for We Have Ways Fest V for Victory 5, the tickets are now live for the general public. If someone doesn't know what to expect from this festival, I mean, if you had to explain this to a total novice, where would we begin? How would you? What's your elevator pitch, Jim?
Okay, so it's a massive series of fields. There's lots of tents. There's huge amounts of hardware. You can see some of your favourite Second World War historians chatting. Yep. There's serious stuff. There's not such serious stuff. There's standalone talks. There's discussions. There's panels. There's ENSA reviews and a whole load of other jollity. Yeah. There's an opportunity to see some up-and-coming historians as well, talk about new projects that they're working on. Yeah. There is an enormous amount of hardware. Tanks, trucks, jeeps, guns, things that go bang. The very, very best living historians. Anyway, you can see all of that, and you can also have huge amounts to drink and eat, and there's live music and all the kind of things you'd expect from a summer festival in England. And
at the end of it, you stagger back to your tent. Is the or your
basically, or your nearby hotel or whatever, wherever you're staying, or your glamp, or whatever.
I think,
and meet lots of friends, meet lots of people that you know.
Well, because that's one of the fun things about it. I think it's fair to say it's a very friendly vibe. What's great is seeing sort of crowds of mates all together, making their way across the field from one talk to another in a state of permanent FOMO. Because that's the other thing. There is so much going on. Yeah. You can get a book signed by your favourite author. You can listen to them speak. You can go to a talk that you never thought you'd ever entertain the subject, and there's something interesting to be tripped over. And I think it's worth emphasising, isn't it? The Second World War is such a bottomless pit as a subject. Some of the talks are about sort of fighty bits of the war, but others are about technology, and others are about politics or economics or the home front, women's experience or whatever. We're coming at it from the sort of kaleidoscopic way of looking at the Second World War as a subject. 6 years of literally everything happening everywhere all at once. It's the 80th anniversary of the end of the war, so there's going to be some stuff about that. I think it's fair to say we're going to kind of lean into the end a bit. I mean, one of the things about this is we are entirely open to people coming along. Just find your tribe. We're here with the podcast. There's only so much we can cover, but really, I mean, the program last year, the talks I attended last year was so wildly varied. So we had James May talking about the wingtips on Spitfires. Then I did a deep dive about the Battle of Breville Ridge in Normandy. Talks like that. Then I went to see Joe Coles talk about the worst fighter plane of the Second World War. You've got everything you could possibly want from every different angle, haven't you, Jim? And I mean, what are you going to be talking about yourself, James, do you think?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it yet. I don't know. I think we'll be doing a V for Victory kind of thing, won't we? A Victory 45 stint. Definitely. There is so much that we can do. I think one of the things we were thinking about doing is having a best general of Second World War. Yeah. Over a series of 3 events. We'll be doing Super Gehirn again, which is mastermind in German. And I think we'll be doing it on a kind of, a proper mastermind model this time. Then on the Saturday night, we'll have the Ensa review, which is always great fun. In amongst all the serious stuff, but there's loads to do. I'd actually like to do a bit more on civilian war as well. The civilian experience of war now that I'm a Blitz convert. Yeah, well, yes, you've completely. We've done a recent series about the Blitz, and it's sort of grabbed you, hasn't it? Yeah, big time. And then I think we're also thinking of exciting new ways in which we can showcase the hardware and the brilliant living historians in a more effective way. Because there's always this sort of disconnect between historians and living historians and hardware. And I think what we need to do is try and blend the two. So if we can get a historian doing tours with the living with historians and the hardware, I think that would be really, really good. So I think we're kind of looking into that.
Do bring your family, do bring your kids. I mean, there's tons to see and do, particularly for kids. I mean, there's also stuff that if you're not interested in the hedgerows of Normandy, there are sort of thinky things to go and see. A friend of mine came last year with his son, and they had a choice between listen to me talk about people fighting, killing each other in ditches in Normandy, or the legacy of war in Germany, which legacy of memory and war in Germany, and they were blown away, not just by the content itself, but the fact that there's a festival that presents this sort of hybrid content where you've got thinky stuff, hard history, tank rides, and all these things sort of mixed up together. I mean, there is nothing like this in the UK for the Second World War. There are other Second World War festivals, but I don't think anything with the sheer variety of stuff on offer.
Absolutely not. No, it is a very, very unique and special event. It's just a huge amount of fun. It's the truth of it. If you're remotely interested in the Second World War, this is very much for you. You don't need to be a kind of diehard fan. As I say, there's so much to see, look at, do, experience, hear, listen, touch, smell.
Yeah. Well, it's very exciting that it's happening again. I mean, this will be our 5th one. And the thing is, this has grown from the first year at the end of pandemic in 2021, where we wanted to throw a party for our listeners to say thank you to them for getting us through the pandemic, and everyone holding each other's hand in comradely spirit through that dark time when the country was tested as never before, James.
Yes, we wanted to return to the sunlit uplands, didn't we?
Exactly. And it was so much fun that we
didn't want to descend into a new dark age made more sinister by technology. No, science. None of that.
Exactly.
We wanted to be in the broad, sunlit uplands.
Exactly. That's exactly what we wanted to do. And, one of the things I've really loved about this is meeting the listeners. And it's been been a really extraordinary thing is that the independent company, the people who've coalesced into this brigade strength. I mean, we're battle group strength now, I think, in terms of membership, group of people to actually.
We are a Kampfgruppe.
We're a Kampfgruppe. I mean, we're putting the camp into Kampfgruppe, Jim. The fun into fun. The camp into Kampfgruppe. I think that's the third of the ingredients, isn't it? But I mean, to meet people, to actually put names to faces, to pick up conversations as well that we've had online or that we've previous festivals is a really, really great part of this experience, isn't it?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I think is most joyous about it is just that very palpable bubble of contentment, happiness, excitement that almost everyone has is there for the whole thing. I mean, everyone who comes is just so pumped for it. They're just so gun for the whole thing. They want to be there. They'll be looking forward to it. They're catching up with friends. There's lots to see and do. They can geek out for the whole weekend without anyone giving them cramping their style. Yeah. There's a joyousness to it, isn't it? Which might seem sort of ironic when you're thinking about the subject matter. But
basically, it's the only place on Earth where someone is not going to glaze over when you talk about the Second World War. There will not be a single person, because in your life, if you're interested in the Second World War, you run into those situations where you start talking about it, and the person you're talking to, basically, you can see it happen in real time. They tune out. That does not happen at this festival. They tune in. It's as simple as that. That's what you've got at this thing. And if you want to buy tickets, go to wehavewaysfest.co.uk and buy tickets now. We have weekend tickets. We have day tickets. There's glamping. The Patreons have already. They had an early bird special. The patrons. Basically, you could join the Patreon, get ahead of the queue that way if you wanted to. That actually would represent a very, very good value for money option to join the Patreon now. Children under 16 are free. What a bargain. And the dates, of course, are 12th to the 14th of September 2025 at Black Pit Brewery, which is right next door to Silverstone. We can't wait to see you there.
A true hybrid festival. The combination of the talks, exciting hardware, the music, everything, the whole package is exceptional in that it is unique. It's a huge amount of fun, and we'd love to see as many of you there as possible.
We're looking forward to seeing you there, in fact. So that's the 12th to the 14th of September next year at Black Pit Brewery. wehavewaysfest.co.uk. Thanks for listening.
Cheerio.